Hi, my name's Adam Ehrlichman. I'm a senior consultant and author with Build Groups. I'm going to be leading the cohort on measuring success and metrics in small groups. I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself, and then I'm going to give you just a little bit of an in-depth look at our first session, our cohort that we covered, and then also what you can expect in the rest to come. We're going to have 4 total, 1 session over 4 months. So the first one here at the lobby, and then we'll have 3 more that'll go month to month after that. And so a little bit about me. I'm originally from the Northeast. I live in Dallas, Texas, is where I operate out of, where I've done a lot of ministry, also done some on the East Coast, but I'm originally from Pennsylvania, born outside Philly, grew up kind of rural area. Always need to lead with that information living in Texas so people know I'm a Yankee. I don't fool them right on the front end. And so that's just, about me. I didn't grow up in church or in a Christian home. I got saved at 19. So I came into the Christian world completely biblically illiterate, had no clue who Matthew, Mark, Luke, or John were, or why they even mattered. Okay. And so that was my beginnings. And so I can recall and remember what it was like not knowing anything biblically, spiritually, and to begin following Jesus. And so a lot of how I've operated in my ministry that the Lord has graced and gifted to me to be able to do has been through a lot of that perspective. And so the Lord had moved us down. We have done young adult, youth, adult life group, small group ministry. And then lastly, my last church role was an executive pastor of discipleship. And now I am a full-time church consultant, and I help churches all over to do multiple things. But in reality, it's all really very common and similar what we do. I help strengthen their groups and discipleship ministry, solve the volunteer crisis, and also with their assimilations and connections. So all of those have a lot of overlap. And so what we do at Build Groups is we help make ministry more meaningful and people-centric by helping you increase your total amount of people who are in groups, leadership, volunteers by 30 to 50% in 6 to 12 months. And so that's what we help do. We help just identify people, discover, develop, and deploy them into ministry roles that they otherwise wouldn't be in. And so we take churches through a process to do those things. And so with our breakout here, what I want to talk about is a lot of what I use in the consulting world that I do with a lot of churches is not just improving processes, but really looking and evaluating it. Hey, what are you already doing? What is right? What is wrong? What is missing? And what else do we need to consider? Right. And so just kind of a good assessment of where are you currently? Are you healthy? Are you not healthy? Are the metrics you're using really conducive to measure holistically if you have healthy small groups? And so the reason I have up here, there's 2 things. I have measuring success and metrics, because metrics don't always define fully or can fully capture what it looks like to have a successful small group. Now, we live in a busy, fast-paced world. There's a lot going on there. We have more information available at our fingertips than we've ever had before. And with that, there have been a lot more responsibilities that have been incurred on you as a ministry leader. There have been a lot more people to keep up with. There have been a lot more people that you can touch base with and communicate with and contact with through social media, through texting, through emails, through phone calls. Snail mail. So many different avenues to be able to communicate and connect and try to grab people's attention when on average they're seeing thousands upon thousands of messages from all sorts of different businesses and places that are being marketed to them. And so part of your challenge is how do you get their attention in a lot of different ways to just get ministry done. And so with all those things that are going on and the many, many pieces of information that are floating around and out there in the real world, in the World Wide Web, all those things, what data points, pieces of information are going to best help you to move groups forward in your church to be successful, to measure if there is truly a holistic, healthy community being built there within the small group, that there is spiritual formation that is occurring, that people are becoming more like Jesus. What are those metrics that you need to measure? And so we're going to talk about that. But beyond that, we're going to talk what should those metrics help indicate and inform for your ministry to go, it's going to not ensure that these things happen, but it's going to at least communicate the possibility that X, Y, or Z could happen, right? That spiritual formation is happening, that there are immeasurable qualities that are spiritually formed into people that you can't put down on pen and paper. Okay, you just can't. And so there's going to be a good, I think, collaboration between those two things of measurable qualities and immeasurable, and some of the quantifying of what is going on in the activity that will help give you a pulse of where things are going in your ministry, where the people are, and how healthy or not healthy it may be. So with your metrics, in looking at this, over this cohort, 4 sessions we're going to do. There'll be this one here at the lobby. And then from there'll be 3 additional ones. It will be 1 hour. We'll do them once a month in the months to follow from here. So 4 months total, 4 sessions, 1 hour apiece. The one at the lobby, obviously, a little bit longer. And so overview, we will hit the different areas of your small groups ministry and the different metrics that you should or maybe shouldn't be tracking. And I promise that, and I said shouldn't, I might step toes, but there are some that you probably shouldn't be that give you a false sense of a healthy small groups ministry. And so with that, a few of those areas are going to be around what I use to consult churches with. We do 6 areas of groups ministry. We do discover, develop, deploy, connect, coach, and care. And I'm going to draw that out here for you in just a second. But before I do, the reason why metrics are so important to measure is because what you measure is what matters to you. So what matters to you is what you measure. And what you measure is what you look at and you put in front of you, in front of your people constantly. And what you put in front of your people constantly, when you reach that goal or that measurement that you've set out to hopefully see the Lord cultivate and bring to fruition, that's what you celebrate. And so what you celebrate is what you're going to replicate. And so with all of that in mind, it's sort of like this, okay? It's, you've got your point of destination that you're trying to reach right here. And there is a road that you're going to travel down in order to reach this destination in the vehicle. But, because I'm not great at drawing cars, I'm just going to draw a bicycle for you, because I think that still communicates what we're trying to do. And so your extremely nice stick figure bicycle here, driving down the road to a point of destination. This right here, your point of destination, this is what your metrics help determine. What are we going towards? You can drive all day. You could pedal as fast as you want forever. You could be the most fit, fast bicyclist in the world, ministry leader in the world, the most effective, best speaking, most organized, the best budget and software, all those things. But if you don't know and have not set, this is where we are going, it'll all be in vain. It will be for naught. And so what's important is, yes, you've got people, you've got your vehicle, you've even got a pathway. But ultimately, what sets all of that is your destination. What is it? What are we hoping to see produced as a result of small groups being a part of our church? What outcomes do we hope to see? And so some of those outcomes, and I'll give you a few that we're going to talk about, are, the win of a small group, I find, is how often do people meet outside of the group meeting time? Right? How often do they meet outside of the group meeting time? Not necessarily, or they have 100% attendance, although that's good, and we would love for that to happen. Beyond it, what I have measured success for a small group historically has been, do they get together outside of the group meeting time? Like, are they organically igniting conversation and meeting up and going to the playground with kids, or getting coffee, or getting a meal and diving in maybe a little bit deeper than what they could at your small group meeting? Those are some of those things. Okay. Now, the other thing that I wanted to show you here are the 6 areas that we use, that we work with. Okay. We've got discover, develop, and deploy. Connect, coach, and care. As you help discover, develop, deploy new group leaders, this is strengthening. You'll connect new people into groups with their leaders. You'll get to coach those leaders ongoing to develop them to be even stronger and retain them into your ministry. And then you'll get to care for the souls. You'll have earned the trust of them, group members, for care of souls to occur. And from there, the process will begin over again. And so through this cohort, you can expect that we're going to pick out metrics for several of these different areas to dive into. We may hit all 6, depending on how deep that you guys want. I'm going to let you drive the vehicle on some of this. We may hit all 6, or we may get 5, we may get 4. But there are a lot of great metrics that you can use. 2 different types. There are metrics that are for goals, and then there are metrics that are for health checkup. This one drives your team. This one indicates, are we really heading this direction right now, halfway on the journey? You pull out the map, the Google Maps. Are we on track to go to where we think the Lord wants us to go? And that's what that does. So this is just a bit of what you can expect with our cohort measuring success and metrics in small groups. My name is Adam Ehrlichman. Look forward to you joining with us. Thanks so much, guys.